Welcome to another edition of my Livestock Story Series on Livestocktrend TV. I am your presenter. My name is Oloruntobi Olusegun, and today we are going to be listening to the story of another exceptional agricultural consultant. He is a farmer for many years. He has so much experience, and I am on this farm in southwest Nigeria. And today I'm glad to introduce to you the founder and the CEO of Asha Ponds and Garden, no other person but Mr. Akin Showemimo. Mr. Akin, I'm glad to be on your farm today.
Thank you so much. It's exciting. I am grateful to see the work you do.
Thank you.
And we are happy to have you.
Thank you very much. I would like to listen to your story. I've read some of these stories, in bits, but I would like our audience to really understand, what do you do on this farm and why livestock farming?
Okay, thank you. So on this farm, this is Asha Ponds and Garden. It's a 1.5 acre farm.
Okay.
All right. And our major protein is fish. Of course, we don't only raise catfish, which is the most popular fish in Nigeria. We actually have about 5 different species of catfish, of fish on our farm. All right. But it is a model farm in the sense that we embrace innovation here for people to see and then go and replicate. So don't forget, I mentioned it's a 1.5 acre farm.
Yeah.
What we also do is that we have 1,000 crops growing on our farm at every time.
Wow.
So we have pawpaws, we have plantains, we have coconuts. Those ones are in like their 200s. All right. And then we have fruit trees. We have orange, mango, pear. We have guava. We have coconut. And then we have maize growing. All right. So we try to make sure there are 1,000 stands growing at every time.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
So here, as I mentioned, we also try to embrace innovation for people to come see and then go and replicate at their place.
Oh, great.
So we do a lot of integrated systems. For instance, our herbivores. So you can split livestock into herbivores and carnivores. Herbivores are the ones that eat grass. Carnivores are the ones that eat flesh. Right. So we have herbivore fish that actually eat grass, kind of grass. All right. So the grass is wolfia.
Okay.
All right. Which in fact in China is called like a super plant.
Wow.
So we have wolfia growing, and that's what we feed our herbivore fish, like tilapia.
Oh, okay.
All right. So it's like an integrated system.
Yeah.
All right. And then we also like use solar for pumping and stuff like that. So
wow. So it's also eco-friendly.
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting. So I'm just wondering, why did you choose livestock? Why are you not just focusing solely on plants or focusing solely on other aspects of agriculture? Why livestock farming?
Okay, thank you. So that's a history question for me.
Of course, definitely.
Because when I started agriculture, of course, I read agriculture in school. Shout out to every Great Ife student. All right. I went to OAU, which is the Oba University of Africa University. But when I went to school and finished, resource was scarce.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I had any parents who could just come and give me a hand-me-down and everything. But I wanted to practice what I learned in school. So it was easier for me to start a backyard fish farm than for me to get 1 acre to go and plant whatever crop or whatever agricultural venture. The capital was, and it still is, capital is intensive to go into agriculture. So it was easier for me to start with one white tank, and in fact I will show you that one tank.
Wow.
Because it's been 13 years of working this story now, but I actually started with one white tank.
Wow.
And it was just easy for me to put behind the house I was living in as a tenant there, and then grow the business. So that was how it actually started. It started from that 1 tank to 2 tanks to 3 tanks to 4. Then I needed to move location and start somewhere else. Also, I should mention the FCR of fish, that's feed conversion ratio, is the most efficient of all animals.
Okay.
Right? The FCR of fish is 1:1, meaning that if we give fish 1 kg of food,
you get
it
1
will give
kilo
us 1 kg of fish. So it was just easy for me to just go into very quickly to start fish farming. Then it now started to grow. I now decided, I could add this to this. This is a way to make it integrated. This is a way to add this to this, add this to this, and That's how I started livestock.
Awesome. So did you study agriculture in school?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you studied agriculture in school. Great. So now, while you were starting, you already mentioned that it was because of the scarce resources that made you to choose agriculture, livestock agriculture. Now, so what were the challenges as you were trying to expand? So I would like to get the story around how were you able to recruit your first set of team? What were the challenges? Did you had issues with some of the team members? What were the things that went wrong at some point ever? I would like to understand some of the challenges you went through. When you were trying to set up this farm, how easy was it for you to have access to the land? How easy was it for you to purchase the land? Did you had issues on land dispute? Whatever thing around challenges, I would like to know that story.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I mean, I think as an entrepreneur, you are a firefighter. All right, the fires just keep coming up, and you keep squashing them, and you keep trying to solve as much challenges as possible. Of course, as I mentioned, the first primary challenge for me was actually resource, was actually the money to say, oh, okay, I'm putting into this. However, whatever you don't start doesn't grow.
Of course.
So it's all right for you to start small, but don't stay small. All right, make sure you are growing. All right. So I think that was the major challenge. Of course, people come and go. But thankfully for me, of no extra effort of mine, I think I have been very privileged to have very good staff. My first staff member, who was the first person I started paying salary to, is still working with me till now.
Wow.
That's about
After
11 years.
Yeah.
Yes, that's about 11 years. All right, Mr. Idowu. All right, it was my first staff member that I started paying. At the time, I was paying 500 naira per week. For him to change water in my tanks, which was beside his house. So he was a young boy. He wasn't in school yet, but now we've walked the journey. I mean, he's graduate and all of that to where we are right now. You know, so that was a major challenge. Something I should also mention is that I have an MSc in GIS, that's Geographical Information Systems, and my project, my thesis in my MSc was site suitability assessments for commercial fish ponds. All right, so I tried to use geodata. That's like a GPS and the satellite to map out the best location to site a fish farm and what are the qualities you would need for that. Of course, when I found the location through my science and all the data that I collected, what do you think I did to the land? Oh, you just purchased it.
So thankfully,
maybe the primary location that I found as the optimum place to site a fish farm using Oyo State as a metropolis. There were already fish farms there. But I was able to find the second, the next, and find a location to get a land, and hence how I got this place.
Okay, so when someone is setting up a fish farm, from your GIS data and information, what are the things to look out for? Is it the weather? Is it the sun? Is it the rate of sun? Is it the humidity? What are the things to look out for as an expert in this field?
Okay, thank you. First of all is water.
Okay.
Aquaculture is the culture of living organisms inside water. So you want to make sure there's a stream, or there's a river, or there's a propensity to an artisan well. Now, what's an artisan well? An artisan well is a pressured substrate of the soil that brings out water by itself.
Okay.
So you are not using pumping machine. Now, we've been in this meeting. Look at the pond by my right. There is water flowing in it. There is no pumping machine all year round. I have like 3 or 4 of those locations around. So first, you want to look for water. You also probably want to get access. All right, you want to make sure that it's commutable. All right, I see a lot of people who just want to start a farm and then they just go in not realizing that that's what COT, cost of transport, on every input and actually output. All right, you want to make sure that that's available. You also want to look at like the gradient of the land. How does it slope? Is it too sharp? All right.
If it is too sharp, what does that imply?
So that's erosion prone. It's flood prone because you're collecting all the rainwater. It's coming towards that direction. All right. But you want to make sure that it's not so slopey, because of course there are different ways to set up like a fish farm and all. There's something we call a race course. A race course means that the water moves from one pond to the next, and you want to make sure that's gravity. That's by gravity, because that's the only way it's cheap and efficient over the while. So it must slope, but not particularly too sharp.
Not too sharp, right. So, but it must be slopey. Okay, thank you very much. Now, let's also talk about the choice of the kind of fishes that you crop on this farm. What prompted the choice of the fishes? Because I know that most fish farmers in Nigeria will just go for the catfish. Okay, so maybe some or a few of them would go for just tilapia fishes because they are prolific. why do you have a number of 5 different types of fish on your farm?
Yes.
Why?
Thank you. So for every market, for every industry, there's the premium product and there's the normal product.
Okay.
All right. So catfish attains 1 kg within 6 months.
Yeah.
All right. That's probably maybe the fastest of fish, and I say this very carefully. The fastest of fish with commercial feeds. Now, tilapia gets to 1 kg within 15 months. That's like 1.5 years.
Wow.
Now, there are new versions of tilapia, for instance, the gift tilapia, which I have on my farm, which we are told will get to 1 kg faster. And it's the jury is still out there, because I mean, we just came into the country last year.
Okay.
I have it right now on this farm,
Okay.
but I'm still checking to see. Of course, the growth rate has been faster than the average tilapia we see out there. But there's also other type of fish. There is other type of meat. It's like saying white meat,
red meat. Yeah.
All right. So there's pangasius.
Yeah.
There's heterotis. There is common carp. There are different types of fish, and every market has every fish. Every industry has like a premium product. So I'm also targeting like a premium product. So when you come, it's not just catfish. I mean, if you have the money, come and buy my common carp. Come and buy
Now,
my
talking about the market now. What are the trade secret for marketing fish or fish products in Nigeria? Because I've heard different stories. I've heard that there are times that you get changed by some intermediaries. So what are the gimmicks you've been using consistently that had made you renowned as a consultant in Nigeria today around marketing of your fishes? Do you deal directly with the retailers, or you deal directly with the wholesalers, or how does it work with fish farming?
Okay, so you're asking me my trade secret. You must really love your viewers.
I love my viewers, okay?
I don't think I will tell you all.
Yeah, please.
But I must mention that middlemen or intermediaries are not necessarily a cause.
Okay.
All right, because the volume of fish that you push out, you might have a retail house, you might have a retail outlet.
Yeah.
All right, but the volume of fish you push out still needs to be distributed, and that is what they have. They have those distribution channels. So you see that when they come to buy in your boss, they don't take it to one spot. They are moving from one location to another because they are distributing that fish around.
Great. Okay.
So middlemen are not always or every time a cause. All right. However, you must be ready to have your own retail outlet so that you can actually target those premium price tags. But once you are selling to like the general market, you should know that, of course, you are also going to outsource your profits to the person who is doing that distribution for you. All right. However, in processing, there's actually more funds. There's more profit in processing. All right. So when you process your fish, you get more for it. So it's like saying chocolate and cocoa. Chocolate is more priced than cocoa. So processed fish actually also is more profitable. But you also need to put your fish in stores where those ones will also put their profits on top. So they are also the middlemen in that space. All right. So I think that for every fish farmer, you should have the premium market where you want to sell your fish. You will market your fish to. I have people that buy my fish that I walked up to them and have a conversation. I sell my fish outside Nigeria as well. Of course, I'm able to put a premium price to that. But when I want to sell 20,000 fishes, I don't have as many people that can pick that up. It has to be through a middleman, and that way I will not sell at the same price that I will sell to like my retail customers and all, because I know that it's going to be outsourced. So it's a fact of business. It's not always bad to work.
So farmers should look for their market or create a market by themselves.
Yes.
Okay. Do you advise that the market should be created before the production begins? Is that the best practice?
Oh yes, I tell all my students. I mean, for people that even do like online courses with me and all of that. In my online course, there is a place where we tell you to go to this. I give them like 2 or 3 locations to go there and ask for the price of fish. So you already know, in fact, your sales price. Then you can then backward integrate to see what is the profit margin for you.
Okay.
All right. So you must have like 2 or 3 ready buyers. I'm always looking for innovation.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to look for what is science saying about this problem.
Okay.
So when fuel costs became an issue, I got these solar pumps that is direct from like a solar panel to the pumping machine. We're not using battery. Battery is the expensive thing in a solar setup. All right. So I will show it to you. We have like a solar panel that directly funds the pumping machine, and with that you pump. So I mean, I'm a fish farmer. I move water a lot, and so that has reduced my fuel cost by almost like 85%.
Wow.
I know how much I spend in a year on fuel well to move water, but that saved that.
You've done over a decade in this business. Have you gotten grants as well? Have you gotten funding? Any other funding?
Yet. I haven't yet, wow. Because as I said, we grew from small, and we are still growing. Obviously, we're still growing. So.
Okay. So lastly, I would like to know, you have done this for almost 11 years now. If you are going to go back in time, what would you have done differently this time around?
One thing that really helped me was that when I started so I read Agric in school. However, I still went to work with a vet doctor. All right. So I worked with him for free. It's called internship.
Internship, yeah.
All right. And at that time, now they even still pay for internship. That time it was free. All right. Like I literally worked with this vet doctor across Ibadan. We did cattle, we did dog, we did fish, we did ornamental fish, we did livestock feed. So I worked with him for a while. So I think that's something that really helped me, because as I'm able to still have that experience in my brain and reach into that. All right. Also, I'll probably get my documents in order as quick as possible. I'll register my company. I'll make sure I'm filing my tax returns, because a lot of times when all these people want to give you grants and all of that, they're asking you for those reports. But you, as a Nigerian, you're probably just braving it, waving it. All right, so that's fine. I'll also work within a cluster. I'll find other farmers that are in my place, and we'll form like an association or something. It just helps. It just helps. Trust me, it just helps. All right, it helps you get more resource. It helps you learn from other people's mistakes. I think that's something. I think those are maybe like 3 top things.
Wow. Someone wants to go into fish farming now, or go into any livestock farming. What would be your advice for the person, just in 1 or 2 statements?
Okay, thank you. I would say that you should start. All right, start anyway, start anyhow. Start. It's what you start that grows.
Mr. Akin Showemimo, again, thank you very much for coming on the show today. It has been a very exciting conversation with you, and I'm so sure that my audience have really enjoyed the session with you. So as we round up, of course, you've heard from the expert. I need to let you know that the founder and CEO of Asha Ponds and Garden is also a consultant to many farms. If you want a service as far as fish farming is concerned, as far as livestock farming is concerned, you can reach out to him. The contacts are going to be there on the screen for you to reach out to him. If you also want to know more about this farm, of course, the contacts are going to be there on the screen for you to go on Google or go on their website and see what they do on this farm. Until next time that I'm going to be coming your way, remember to subscribe to our channel. Remember to follow us on all of our social media handles. If you have a story that you want us to come to your farm to listen to, the contacts are there. Reach us on WhatsApp, reach us on all of our social media handles. There'll be someone there ready to answer all of your questions, and in no time we're going to be on your farm and document your story for the whole world to hear. Thank you very much for joining me on this edition. I remain your host, Oloruntobi Olusegun. Bye for now.